Okay, good morning. So we began on Sunday Sichos on Teves. We're holding now Ois Yudalad. Yudalad. Das ist echt der Kesher zwischen Beis Yehuda mit dem Koishi Hashib. This is also the connection between the house of Yehuda and the extreme difficulties resulting from the Shibud, from the subjugation of the non-Yiddish nations. Mitzad Pchinas Yosef, from the perspective of Yosef, Gile Likus Mimayla Lamata, as we explained, Yosef shows on the revelation of godliness downwards, is the Avodah Peil Nur in Azam Mata was Hatal Klapona Mashaychus Tzu'ir. So Yosef, since his revelation of godliness is downwards, his service can only affect a low level that is at least somewhat associated with light. Mashenkin Pchinas Yehuda. However, the attribute of Yehuda is Zikuk Hamata, which what's Yehuda? We explained refining the material plane to oich in the Mata B'Yeser. So Yehuda is able to affect even the lowest level of the material existence. As oich the takev hachoshech v'hakoshi hashibud vert nizdachich umizbarer biz isabcha chashech l'nehir, which means that even there's such an intense darkness and there's difficulty resulting from the shibud of the non-Jewish nations are refined and elevated to the extent that the darkness itself is transformed into light. That's the mile of Yehuda over Yosef. Und der Fahr was the Avodah von Yehuda is in Mokam HaCheshech from the Mata B'Yeser. Since the service of Yehuda is carried out in the place of darkness, the lowest levels of material existence, the Greich the Avodah in Atzmusi Yisbarich, so it reaches the Eibishter's very essence, transcending all the revealed levels of godliness. Hecher from Pchinas HaGiluyim, higher than the revealed levels. On Al Derech the Yisrin in Balei Tshuva if Tzadikim. This parallels to the advantage of Balei Tshuva over Tzadikim. As we bald, they are since their service is motivated by being distanced from Hashem. They're greich zi in atzmus. So when the Baal Tshuva actually turns around, it reaches Hashem's essence, surpassing even the levels by the service of tzaddikim. This is the difference between the geula, the redemption, as it will be brought about through Yosef, and as it will be brought about through Yehuda. Mitzad Yosef, this is an inyan from Likkutei. When Yosef is the shliach for the geula, so what does the pasuk say? It's going to come in a manner if goodness will redeem you. If goodness will redeem you. Which means it's a redemption that is associated with light, with the goodness of light and revelation. Inside Yehuda is, what does the pasuk say? Now, when Yehuda, when it speaks about Yehuda being the shliach for geula, so it says it's going to come about in a manner, the pasuk says, Anoichi, I will redeem you. In other words, the geula is dur chatzmusi yisparach. So again, we see that Yosef is the idea of Gila the revelation, and Yehuda is the idea of Anoichi, which Anoichi is the essence. So even though Yosef has the Maila or Milmaila Lamato, but Yehuda, since he's Mimata Lamaila, so when Yehuda actually accomplishes his Aveda, it's like the Aveda of a Baal Tshuva, then he really attains the level of Atzmus. Tezvav. Alpi zeh is noch mehr moving the Sheiches zwischen same gamer Yehuda lebeis Yehuda lesasin. Now, based on this, we can explain the connection between, we're saying Tzayim Yiyah lebeis Yehuda to the pasuk of to the Beis Yehuda to the Tzveitet Kuf in Yemei Mashiach. So, as we explained yesterday, that the transformation of the suffering of the fasts to Simcha involves the nullification of the. So he says, "Free regret as the inyan from hipachat same gufa is an inyan from bittul and hagishalim." So we explained previously that the transformation of the suffering of fasts to Simcha involves nullification of the ordinary pattern of existence, as we explained. That's the second kufa. So this reflects the connection between the pasuk, as the Rambam brings, the fast of the 4th month. It says it's going to be Sasin, the Beis Yehuda, on the second period of Mashiach. on the basis of the, and this is what he says, that on the basis of what we explained previously, a further connection between the two can be understood. As well known, there are two spiritual ascents in Elam Haba. Aleph, the Su'udah Leviyasan, Su'udas Leviyasan, V'sher Habor. So the first is, you have the air resulting from the elevation of material realm, which the Chachamim describe this as the feast, at which there's going to be the Leviyasan and the Sher Habor, the wild ox. An Ein Fun, Dugma Fun Achil Shasiya. So this is like a dogma of eating and drinking. So in other words, this Gilei, this revelation of Hashem, is comparable to eating and drinking. And then Beis, you have Elam Haba Ein Le'achila, and then you have the second level of Elam Haba, which represents a loftier level. That's Elam Haba, that there's no eating and no drinking. Now, the Chilik Beineim, what's the difference between them? The Inyan for Achila Shasi and Elam Haba means the Tainuk from Masik Zain, the Taimi Atero was Velon Damos is Galavern. Now, the eating and drinking that is characterized by the first level of Elam Haba is the pleasure derived from the comprehension of the inner mystical rationals of the Torah that will be revealed when Mashiach comes. Thus, now this Gilei comes as a result of the Avodah, the divine service in the Torah and Mitzvahs in the present era. So that's the first thing. What does it mean when Mashiach comes? You're going to have Achilu Shasiyah from the Leviyasan and Shar Habar. That means in understanding the inner parts, the mystical parts of Torah, and that's going to be revealed when Mashiach comes. And how does the result, what's the result of that, or how does the result come to be? This is through the Aveda of Torah Mitzvahs in Elam Hazeh. Now, on the Tzveit Aliyah Ober, wird nis Galavern Atzmus Yisborach, was is Hecher from Chinas Giluyim. The second phase will involve a further Aliyah, which is the revelation of Hashem's essence, which transcends all revealed levels of godliness. Was kenit slabish werden in Achilu Shasiyah Chach Mechuli. Und das wird aufgetan durch der Tnur von Tshuva, und als sei euch durch Messias Nevesh auf Torah Mitzvahs, was wird nis eure Idee lachatz v'dechik hashibuf zman hagalas. Now this revelation of Hashem's essence is in the future is brought about through Tshuva and also through Messias Nevesh for Torah Mitzvahs, which is aroused through great oppression and difficulty due to the shibud from the goyim during the era of Galus. So you have these two tkufas in Elam Haba. You have the Elam Haba, the way of Achilu Shasiyah, eating and drinking, which that refers to understanding the primus Torah comes in a nizgalatic way, in a gilitic way, and then you have the second level of Elam Haba Ein Achilu Shasiyah, which that refers to having the love of Atzmus Yisbarach, being Megale, which is not enclosed in any Achilu Shasiyah, but rather you get the essence itself, and that comes through the Tnuah of Tshuva, which comes about through the Lachatz V'dechik Hashibim Fizman Agalas. Shlem al derech zeh is der chiluk zwischen die zwei Atkufas Anal and Yemei Mashiach. It could be said that a similar distinction can be made regarding the above mentioned periods in the era of Mashiach. The erste Tkuva in the first period, in the first period, the Jewish people, as the Rambam says, are going to be free to occupy themselves in Torah and its wisdom, which are comparable to eating and drinking. In der zweite Tkufa, wenn sie wird sein Tches HaMesim und Bitum und Hagel Shel Elam, al derech ein be'achila anal is Mesal Atzmus Yisbarach. Now, the second period will include Tches HaMesim and the nullification of the ordinary pattern of existence, which that resembles life without any eating, and this relates to the manifestation of Hashem's essence. When their fires, their sasim is simcha and beis Yehuda shayach to the tveit tkufa for Yemei Mashiach. Therefore, the gladness and joy of beis Yehuda will be associated with the second period of the era of Mashiach, while the Aveda from Yehuda is koishi ashiba the greich and atzmus yisbarach kanal, because the Avodah of Yehuda, during the difficulties of the Shibud of the non-Jews, that reaches Hashem's essence as explained above. Tes Zayin. Api Kohanal, wird man euch verstehen, die Sheiches von Kohanal zu Asar B'Teves. Based on this, what we explained above, it's possible to understand the connection to Asar B'Teves. Wegen Asar B'Teves steht in Avud Raham. Avud Raham, which was Reb David Avud Raham, he says that what's the connection? What does he say about Asar B'Teves? Afilu hayachol b'Shabbos lehayu yichel mitchese liyom acher shenemer b'boy be'etzam hayom hazeh k'moy b'yom kippurim. He says that were Asar B'Teves to fall on Shabbos, the fast could not be postponed to another day, because it's written concerning it. The tightness von Asar B'Teves is mitzad dem was demolt hat sich angeheben der Motzer auf Yerushalayim. Asar B'Teves, the 10th of Teves, was initiated because the siege of Yerushalayim began on that day. Was das hat angeheben und safe der viert zu der spätete Meorais in Shiv Asar B'Tammuz Nifka Ir and Tisha B'Av Churban Beis Hamidrash und Gimel B'Tishri Harigas Gedalia. So, because through Asar B'Teves, this was the initial step that led to the next events of the 17th of Tammuz, when the walls of the city were breached, Tisha B'Av, when the Beis Hamidrash was destroyed, and same Gedalia, when Gedalia was murdered. V'ibal as is der mocker from Allah Tzaris, since Asar B'Teves was the source of all the calamities, it has a certain dimension of severity of chumrah beyond that of other fasts. So basically, what we're saying, since Asar B'Teves is the mocker of all the fasts, it has a certain chumrah on the other fasts, and that's why the Avud Raham says even if Asar B'Teves were to fall on Shabbos, it would not be a nitcha. All right, Yud Zayin, last sif. V'bal das it same from Asar B'Teves. Is there mocker from the Dalet same? Is since we're explaining that the fast of the 10th of Teves is the source of all the 4 fasts. Verstanden, it's understood as the tshuva was the same roof reis is b'yeser seis, b'yeser ois, v'di tshuva durch the adelet tzoymes. So it's understood that the tshuva prompted by this fast is of greater intensity than the other fasts. Over mele the grechtes in asmusi sparech hecher v'di tshuva from the adelet tzoymes. So therefore, it reaches a loftier level within Hashem's essence than that reached through the tshuva of other fasts. Aderech visat sich gerät frier in der Meile von Beis Yehuda, wo sie is given der Kesha Shibud. As we explained above, the advantage attained by Beis Yehuda, who underwent the severity of the Shibud, of the subjugation of the Goyim. Und das ist der Teichen primi in dem was afilo yachol b'Shabbos lehoy yichel mitches liyem acher. This is also the inner dimension of the halacha that if Asar B'Teves will fall on Shabbos, it will not be postponed to another day. Why? Val b'pinim yusei is a hecher from Shabbos, because when you think about Asar B'Teves in its inner dimension, it's really higher than Shabbos. It surpasses Shabbos. Vider ilay in dem inay from Yom Kippurim, like the advantage of the inay, the self-affliction on Yom Kippur, versus me'enay elam haba she'em be'achil shasiyah, which this is like a microcosm of elam haba, when there will be no eating and no drinking. After achil shasiyah from Shabbos, over the eating and drinking over Shabbos. Warum? Durch die Avedas Atshuva von dem Zeim, der Leinkman in Atzmusi Yisparach, was wird Nisgala werden in Elam Haba, Shem Ba'achila. The reason for this advantage is that the Aveda of Tshuva associated with fasts reaches Hashem's essence, which will be revealed in Elam Haba at the time that will transcend eating and drinking. So, you realize that after learning the Sikha, you realize the godless of Asar B'Teves, that through the avoid of Asar B'Teves in the way Chassidus explains, you could reach mamish higher than the level of Shabbos. Yeah.